Hey there, it's Kim Adams at Kimberly B. Adams, and it's great to see you this Monday. We're here for Monday's Money Talk. And today, I wanted to talk about how your sense of worth, your worthiness affects your wealth. And worthiness has been coming up a lot lately for me. In my mastermind last week, we talked about third chakra, owning our power and stepping into our power, and a lot of things associated with the third chakra and stepping into your power have to do with your worthiness. So it's been coming up a lot in discussions lately, and I wanted to chat a little bit about that, what it is, what it looks like in your business or in your life, and what you can do about it. So first of all, worthiness shows up in your wealth in a very direct way, because your wealth is a reflection of how worthy you feel, especially when you're in business for yourself. So if you're not charging fees that are appropriate for the level of expertise and experience and knowledge you have, that's a sign of a lack of worthiness. If you're giving away your services, that's another indication that your worth is tied to your fees. It can also look like not stepping into your power, not really owning just who you are. And many times, we pick a lot of this programming up in childhood. So a lot of times we make this vow to conform, to be a certain way, to fit in, to conform. We pick a lot of that messaging up in childhood. And so if we don't, if we got messages like that it wasn't safe to be who we really are, it really wasn't safe to express our true authenticity, then we play small. And so sometimes it's the idea that you're not really living full out and you're playing too small. You're not really being the biggest version of who you can be. So that's tied to worthiness too. What was I just going to say about that? The other thing that I think is really common, especially for women, is that as women, it's especially common for women. It seems like worthiness comes up for much more for women than men. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that as women, we carry this collective consciousness that basically has told us we are second-class citizens. And it's been that way for thousands of years, right? We had to fight to vote. We're still fighting for equal pay. So those subtle messages say to us, you're not quite as worthy as a man. You're doing the same work, but for some reason we don't need to pay you as much as a man. So those subtle messages that we've been receiving for years, really for thousands of years. So as women, we carry that collective consciousness too of not being as worthy as a man. Now, a lot of that's shifting in our consciousness today. A lot of the paradigms are shifting about women's power. We are coming out of a patriarchal society, so it is time for us to step up and own it. And part of what we need to do as women especially, is to really process any feelings of unworthiness that we have. And the way that we do that is by, some of the tools I use, at least with my clients, is I use tapping. I help them uncover childhood things that came up that maybe initiated the sense of unworthiness. Sometimes it has to do with your personality type too, because we interpret things differently based on who we are as people too. So, what happens to one child impacts them, or same thing can happen to another child and they're not impacted the same way. So we know part of it's just our own programming to our own just sense of who we are and our own personality. And also what we come in to do. So, but we do have to process this. So, and a lot of times it is not very overt. We may not feel unworthy, right? So on a conscious level, we're not feeling unworthy, but it's showing up in other places of our life. It could be showing up in our money. It could be showing up in our relationships, in our health. Maybe we don't take care of ourselves. in a health from a health perspective, and that can be reflective of our worthiness. So it's not very overt. It's not very obvious sometimes. It can be very subtle. And so that's part of the reason why it's so important to know what to look for and to process your emotions as much as you can around things. I know it's an ongoing process for all of us. There are so many layers to the onion that we have to process and peel away. And there are many layers to unworthiness that have to be looked at and analyzed and just, dealt with on an ongoing basis. So if you have processing tools, great. You need to use them, whether it's, finding emotion in your body, whether it's tapping. I use several different processes to help my clients. Some of the key, though, tools are great. It's knowing what to process. That's the key, right? I mean, it's great to have a tool, but you have to know what to use the tool on. And so that's why it's really important to do some long-term work with either a coach, a consultant, a program that's really going to help you look internally and process things that are stopping you and blocking you from what you really want in life. If you have any questions at all about what I'm talking about, please type them in the comments. If you're watching the replay of this and you're not watching it live, please feel free to type in any comments or questions you have. One of the best ways I've found for helping my clients through their sense of unworthiness or any other issues that are blocking them from having the money, the wealth, and success they want is my mastermind, which is an awesome year-long program. If you have any questions about that, let me know. It's a low-cost program, but it helps me walk you through processes that are going to highlight and uncover the underlying things that are really blocking you. So let me know if that's of interest to you. I'd be happy to chat with you about that, see if it's a fit for you. Anyway, I hope you're having an awesome Monday, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Again, it's Kim Adams for Money Talk, and I'll talk to you next Monday. Take care. Bye.